Okay, The Boys episode 6, here we go. I have found this season to be pretty underwhelming, but the last episode was much better than the first four. I'm hoping, and this should move things along faster than it has already. We shall see, let's jump into it. We open the episode with the legend, and we see him getting ready to go to work. He works at one of the Vought movie theaters. Why he works here, I have no clue. He says that he doesn't want to leave the movie business, so fair enough. But the boys walk into the theater and MM is talking to him and they leave to go somewhere private. We then get a firecracker movie advertisement where she's showing off the deep popcorn bucket. This is pretty nice satire. MM is asking the legend about Bombsight, but he thought they destroyed it all. He tells him that MM sounds like Butcher and he's reluctant to give up information, but he does. We cut to Homelander and Sage is with him. They're testing the V1 on what I assume is a starlighter. We see blood spraying out of this guy's asshole and I will definitely not be able to show it. The Deep walks up and asks about Firecracker and Homelander says that she's moved on to a better place and there's no room in the boat for non-believers, and the Deep immediately starts sucking up to him. Sage tells the Deep to defend a pipeline in Alaska and she tells Homelander that she can't perfect the V1. It is weird when they do this with her character, like how is she the smartest person alive but she can't figure out formulas that other people have figured out. We get more patriotic Homelander adverts playing. This one's talking about a weekly sermon that he does now. We cut to the boys and Frenchie has made the virus for the 17th time and it's ready and they plan to plant it at O Father's church and spray Homelander with it when he gives his sermon on Sunday. Butcher is completely ready to release the virus and says some pretty great lines here about it.
Cunt drops dead, forever and ever. Amen.
You don't have to enjoy it so much.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Kiwi accent slips a bit here though. I do like how Butcher enjoys it here and how Huey is still reluctant. This probably plays out big time in the finale. MM then shows up with the legend.
Butcher, I've had anal warts I've been more excited to see.
Ah, so your head's still up your own arse, is it?
The legend gives up information on Bombsight's love interest, the Golden Geisha. I do like the commentary here on old-timey racism. I think this does work well.
Golden Geisha?
Well, that name doesn't sound racist at all.
Golden Geisha had a very steamy fuck scene with Eric Estrada in Operation Orient. Very progressive for the day.
We learn that she's staying at Vought Village, which is like a retirement home, but for soups. They all agree on the plan and head off straight away. Huey talks to Kamiko and Frenchie about the V1 alone. He doesn't talk to MM or Butcher about it. I assume because he doesn't fully trust them and thinks they're a bit too far gone at this point. We cut back to the 7th Tower and Sage chloroforms Ashley to speak with her tumor and asks her to read Soldier Boy's mind. Ashley walking about passed out in this scene was fucking funny. We then cut to an advert for a Native American soup called the Indian Engine. This advert was great, and the Indian Engine is just the whitest dude ever. This is great satire on like white savior bullshit. Finally poking fun at different things. I really like this. We then cut to Kamiko and the legend at Vought Village. There's some good lines here too.
Sanitizer and lasagna?
That's what death smells like. See the blonde over there? I fucked her. Got me in the Mile High Club. No plane. There is not a pair of loose lips in the bunch. Well, not in the faces, anyway.
They meet the Golden Geisha, but she doesn't want to give them Bombsight. We then see an old fire soup that the legend calls Hot Flash. I'm not sure if this is her soup name or whatever. But the Golden Geisha doesn't give them info, so they leave. They join the others outside, and Kamiko says she doesn't want to hurt old people. To which Butcher says soups aren't people. MM plans to kidnap the Golden Geisha and says that Butcher is the only one making sense at the moment. The legend is kind of not okay with this, and I do like the moral judgment on the part of the legend here. You can see that MM is definitely slipping to be more like Butcher. We then cut back to the Deep, who's doing an advert defending the pipeline.
Isn't oil bad for the environment? No. And if we don't use it, then all those dinosaurs will have died for nothing. My coral friends just can't wait to build their reefs on the new pipeline, which will provide low-income housing for our most vulnerable fish communities.
This is actually brilliant satire. They can do great satire when it's not on the nose ice bullshit, you know? There has been lots of great parody in this episode that works really well and isn't on the nose, like the last 3 seasons of this. But we cut to Huey and Annie, who are having a heart-to-heart. Huey talks about being at the internment camp for months, but we never felt any of this as a viewer because we were only shown it for like the first episode, and that time he describes would have happened in between seasons. We barely even knew what that situation or experience felt like. We then cut to Soldier Boy with Sister Sage. He tells her that it's all dead ends on the V1. He's obviously lying, but has this decent line.
Makeup is gonna need you in the chair, 6 a.m.
They can feather my nut hair.
Ashley, or Ashley's tumor, is hidden away reading Soldier Boy's mind. She gives Sage the information that Homelander is hiding information from Sage and that Soldier Boy is kinda proud of Homelander. Sage then tells Ashley she has to cut her chip out and go on the run. We get an old school advert from Bombsight for weight loss tablets. There's some, again, good satire here. I like the comment on sexism and body shaming.
What's got you looking blue, little lady?
Henry's noticed that I've put on a few pounds.
Getting hefty, are ya? You must not be using Vought brand weight control tablets. Just take one with breakfast, or better yet, instead of breakfast.
The boys then try to capture the Golden Geisha. She reveals she has a force field power. They inject her IV with something that makes her pass out. 2 soups show up, as well as the engine from the advert earlier.
Not so fast, white man.
One of the soups pops his testicles out.
This one's for you, Em. Fuck you.
They fight the soups, and the guy is swinging his balls around like 2 pool balls in a sock, and Butcher beats him with it. We then cut to Soldier Boy and Homelander at an address they think is Bombsight, but it looks empty. Soldier Boy sees a video of Liberty and Homelander doing some nasty stuff.
What the fuck was that?
I can explain.
Homelander tells Soldier Boy that Ryan's responsible for her death. They're clearly planting seeds here for later on. Soldier Boy gets really mad with Homelander and smacks him, but Homelander says he could never let her go and that he loved her, and then Soldier Boy gets even more mad. Homelander realizes and admits that Sage is manipulating them both, and he tells Soldier Boy that he can't find the V1 without him. Soldier Boy says that Homelander doesn't deserve to live forever. There is obviously lots of conflictions with Soldier Boy at the moment. Huey and Annie head for Oh Father's Church, which I assume is at the 7th Tower, and they see posters of Starlighters all on the wall. They find Firecracker's body, and Annie says that she's not relieved she's dead. She's actually sad about it. The rest of the boys have no leads for Bombsight. Kimiko stays with the Golden Geisha, and the boys go to head inside, and they see Sage. She says she's here to help. She's switching sides. I like this kind of parody of superheroes or villains switching sides in general, but she says she's a free agent and that she wants Homelander dead. She seems to know everything that's going on and chose to let them go about their plan. She knows how to contact Bombsight and offers her help. How convenient she is only the smartest person alive when the plot needs her to be. Anyway, we cut to Ashley and she's talking about a fault with the pipeline from earlier, obviously set up by Black Noir. This scene was fucking fantastic. The Deep has oil all blocked in his gills and he can't breathe. And then we see a fish called Jeremy.
Jeremy? No!
The Deep tries CPR on the fish. Does that even work on a fish's anatomy? The fish says that it was the Deep's fault.
We know, Kevin. We know it was you.
Even though we know Black Noir set him up. The boys send Bombsight a photo of Golden Geisha tied up to lure him out. Kimiko says she's a massive fan of her, and Golden Geisha asks her to let her go. They talk about V1, and Golden Geisha says Bombsight stole it for her, but she doesn't want the immortality. Then she says,
Summer is only beautiful when you know winter's coming. Winter's coming. Winter's coming. Winter's coming. Winter's coming.
Kimiko talks to Frenchie about the struggles with the fact that she may be immortal, possibly setting up either of their deaths here. Huey and Starlight show up at the church, and O'Father shows up, and Starlight talks about coming here to help him turn around. She asks him about his belief in Homelander, and he says that he prayed to God and got unanswered prayers, and that he does believe in Homelander, and says that he listens to him. A fight breaks out between them, and O'Father blasts her. Huey pulls out the virus and threatens to dose him with it, says that Starlight took an antidote. I don't think after this he plants the virus, but O'Father just lets them go. We cut to the Deep and Black Noir too, and they are just arguing.
Plenty of fish in the sea, bro.
Noir tells him that he did it all for revenge. The Deep snaps and strangles him with an XLR cable, grabs a blade from his back and stabs him through the throat. Black Noir is dead. The Deep freaks out a bit after he's done this. Homelander shows up to where the Legend is and lasers a guy. The Legend just gives up info to him. Sage is texting Soldier Boy about a deal and tells MM that she just wants solitude. She talks about mass murder and how they're both open to committing it. She does have a point, and MM is clearly conflicted here. Bombsight shows up, says he's going to rip them all to pieces. Butcher says that he wants to chat with him. Homelander and the Legend show up to the hideout of the boys. He finds a Taco Bell receipt and knows that it's Sage. Homelander is then talking to an imaginary person, probably Stillwell. Legend sees that he's crazy, and Homelander talks about giving Ryan up. Homelander says that he doesn't want to rot immortal. The Legend knows that he's dead in this situation. He says that this is just how it goes for talent or celebrity, and he talks about moments in the sun and fleeting fame. This plants a seed, I think, in Homelander about Vought, which probably makes him go his own way or overthrow them in some way. Homelander says he can sense the Legend isn't scared of him, and the Legend feels for him, calls him a whack job, but Homelander just lets him go. I think he doesn't care if people aren't afraid or don't love him. He really couldn't be bothered about the situation. I think this is excellent reinforcement of his character. I'm glad we get to see things like this. Homelander then manages to track them down through the Golden Geisha's Vought alert necklace. The boys ask for the V1, but Bombsight doesn't want to give it up, even though Frenchie says they will destroy it. Bombsight dives at Butcher, knocks Kimiko through the wall. Butcher tries to tie him up with his tentacles, but Bombsight swings him flying away. They're shooting at him with bullets, but he's totally fine. But then the Golden Geisha blocks Kimiko from Bombsight. Then out of nowhere, Soldier Boy shows up. Soldier Boy is here to help according to Sage, and we get this line.
You know how long I've wanted to smash in that pretty face?
Buddy, the Queen sat on this face. It's a national fucking treasure.
Soldier Boy and Bombsight then start fighting. Sage says no one hates Homelander more than Soldier Boy right now. Not sure this is true. Soldier Boy gets knocked back. Bombsight is clearly very strong. They keep fighting. Bombsight goes to fly away, but Soldier Boy grabs him. They both fly off and land in a nearby field. Bombsight begs Soldier Boy to stop, and he does. Bombsight, we learn, was a druggie and hated having to stand next to Soldier Boy. Hated him for being in the spotlight. Soldier Boy again shows signs of regret. Says that he hates Bombsight, but won't kill him. He tells him he can take away his immortality and his powers. Bombsight gives him the V1, and he does just this. The boys show up to see that Soldier Boy has taken his powers away from a distance. Bombsight sees his own blood for the first time in ages, and seems that he's content being mortal. Homelander shows up, and Bombsight runs away. Soldier Boy pulls out the V1, looking like he's gonna get rid of it, but Homelander says that he doesn't want to fight him. Soldier Boy then says Homelander is the ultimate expression of Supes, gives him the V1. Sage is confused and says that he's not supposed to do this. Soldier Boy says he loves liberty, more than he hates Homelander, and she would want this for him. Homelander lasers himself open, injects the V1, his lasers go crazy, and he becomes the final boss, John Homelander. Butcher says to run, and the episode ends. All in all, this episode was great. Much better than all the episodes this season, even miles above the last episode, which I quite liked. The satire was very on point, didn't feel as preachy as it normally does. Some of the deep scenes were super funny. Lots of the emotional beats of this episode were great too. The way everybody's conflicted and sort of figuring their own way out to the end game of things. I still think the lower half of the season definitely needed more of this. It did just feel like the story was going nowhere and they were just stalling for time. Whereas this episode rushes things along super quick. I did overall like the pacing and the end of it was great. I really hope they cold open the next episode right at the end of this one. But it does seem like Homelander is on a crazy arc right now. He's going to go absolutely insane with the immortal powers he's got. And I think everyone around him will see he just needs to be stopped at any cost. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Hopefully it stays this way until the end. Thanks for watching.